Hi, everybody. Todd Nash, Senate District 29. We're winding down 1st of May. My goodness, it got here fast. The first of session, January 13th, being sworn in. This seemed like a day that was way, way out there, but it's been so busy. It's happened so fast. And we're making some decent progress on some things. So really thankful for getting this far into the session. I can see light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to go over a few things that we advocated for this week. Um, First of all, Senate Bill 1061 finally got to carry that on the Senate floor, and that was the lumber grading bill that we've worked so hard on. That was inspired by Ken Hunt. He was the building codes officer there in Wallowa County, and he was the one that said it's too bad that we can't use local lumber to build these local houses. And um, this goes on uh, to the House side. It's going to end up in the Natural Resource Committee on the House side. And we look forward to that getting across the finish line. I'm confident that it's going to make it through, but credit to Ken Hall. A lot of work was done on this end of it too. My chief of staff, Jake Pilroy, about wore him out there at a time working on this bill. It seemed like a tough bill. Um, that it shouldn't have been a tough bill, but it ended up to be a lot of work. But we got it there, and I think, like I said, it's going to go. Um, Senate Bill 9, that one comes to us by way of County Commissioner, Wallowa County Commissioner Lisa Collier. She identified a problem there with ODOT in that there were a lot of kids that were coming from larger metropolitan areas out to what was a little easier driving to Eastern Oregon and scheduling their driving test there. And so she, having sent 7 kids through that program, she understood how difficult it was to get a driving test. And oftentimes our own kids are having to go over to LeGrand, Pendleton, or beyond to get driving tests. And so she wanted to make it a priority to those young people that live within 50 miles of a DMV that they get a priority. And she got a little pushback from DMV, and I was proud to carry that bill for. She did the legwork, and she wanted to be involved in that process, did a fantastic job. It got a hearing, it got a work session, and it's on its way. So congratulations to Lisa on that. And I think it's a good bill. And obviously others as well did down here. Senate Bill 777, that's the wolf compensation bill. Now that one made it across the Senate floor, sent over the same way, goes through that whole process again. And in the Natural Resource Committee on the House side, we had a 90-minute hearing. Ended up, they gave us a full 2 hours, and it was exhausting, folks. Uh, the emotional toll that wolves take on people that are having to deal with them and being depredated on day after day, it is so substantial, beyond all the financial pains and strains. The emotional toll, I think, is the hardest, and we saw that play out with testimony from people that showed up that are actually dealing with wolves. They did a fantastic job. I just can't speak highly enough of the people that showed up. I would not want to be an environmentalist that was paid to oppose this bill. I don't know how you justify doing that. It's shameful, but they did. They showed up, and good for you that you felt gutsy enough to do that. But boy, the guys and gals that showed up on behalf of those that are being impacted, it was gut wrenching to sit through that. I don't know how you could vote no after listening to all that. But that'll be scheduled for a work session here at some time on the House side. And then we'll see, going out to the House floor. We'll do our work down here to make sure that we try to secure as many votes as we can. There's never any certainty, even though that passed off the Senate with only one no vote. You just never know. We're not going to take it for granted. We're going to keep working on that. Senate Bill 1034, that's the windmill siting, the FSAC, Energy Facility Siting Council bill that we thought was problematic. That when they sited those windmills over there in Umatilla County, that they didn't adhere to what the ordinance was as far as the setback. And um, those companies that decided to site there, in this case, it was a Canadian company that um, went ahead and took that lawsuit on and rolled right over the top of that county ordinance, and they won at the Oregon Supreme Court. Um, we want to patch that up. We want to make those ordinances stronger. There's some counties that maybe don't want windmills at all. There's some that want larger setbacks than others. And I really respect that local control. And that is what 1034 is all about. Those counties being able to decide and having more stringent rules than some of those states and state authorities. So that's that bill. We had a work group on that. We were able to air it out between stakeholders, some of the concerns, and we're supposed to have, yeah, even this afternoon, kind of a wrap up of that meeting and what everybody could live with. I said I wasn't going to move very far. I'll win, lose, or die on the merits of the bill. But anyway, we'll see where that one goes. I was able to carry a bill onto the floor, House Bill 3141. You heard me talk about it before, but that establishes a Farmer Rancher Day here at the Capitol. It'll be the third Tuesday of every March. And it seems like kind of a silly thing. I tell you what, folks, down here in Salem, they need to be reminded that farmers and ranchers are out there doing the good work, feeding us, and it's a good bill. Vicky Breeze Iverson put that one forward, and it passed unanimously. I had one of my Democrat colleagues that wanted to co-chair or co-carry that message on the floor, and Senator Golden, yeah, he jumped in there and did a fantastic job of why we should have such a thing. And I'm really thankful for all those that participated, all those that voted for it. Had a really special week too, when one of the people that was coming down here to talk about wolves, John Williams, he agreed to give my mom a ride down here. And so I was able to have my mom down here for an evening and part of a morning, have her out on the Senate floor, introduce her to my fellow senators, and everybody was so gracious to her down here, and she had a fantastic time. It was wonderful to have her there, and a memory that I won't forget, and I'm sure that she won't either. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming down, Mom. Tim Norman, one of my good friends, went from first grade all the way through high school with, one of the most talented and gifted artists in the world, and he made a bronze some years back and titled it Harvest, and it depicted a team of horses hitched to a wheat harvester, and that combine. It is just an absolutely stunning piece of work. I am so honored he brought that down. It's displayed here in my outer office. incredible piece of work. It's drawing a lot of attention down here. But one of the things that prompted that is it's going to be the 100th year of the Oregon Wheat Commission next year. And this is what harvest looked like 100 years ago. So it's very fitting. We hope to be able to move this over to the governor's office. She's agreed to display it over there somewhere in September when the building renovation is completed so that we can have that a little higher profile point. But if you guys get by my office, you got to see this thing. It is an absolutely incredible piece of work. And thank you, Tim, for coming down. Got to introduce him on the floor as well, and that was wonderful to be able to do that. Today we had an informational hearing in the Natural Resource Committee on the Senate side, and the Northwest Meat Packers Association showed up. Cattlemen showed up. There was a spokesman there from the Oregon Beef Council, and you guys did an absolutely fantastic job. Um, what you're up against, some of the difficulties with getting rid of the offal, the hides, um, how expensive everything is, but also the service that you provide for Oregon and the food security that you provide for us is really wonderful. And I sit on these committees all the time, and sometimes you don't necessarily hold everybody's attention. I will tell you, in the Wolf Committee hearing, or not the Wolf Committee, the Wolf compensation hearing, everybody was riveted to every word that was said. In this meeting here today with meat packers, same way. People were engaged, they were interested. Oregon Department of Agriculture showed up and talked about the Oregon Meat Inspection Program, and very good hearing. So congratulations to all of you. Folks, we're still uh, grinding away. We have a lot of more bills to move. We're getting a lot of them over from the House side, some of them problematic. We're trying to trip up some of the really bad bills and encourage the good ones. And we're having some success. And I'm really proud to be down here and serving you. Thanks for all of you that show up. Thanks for all of your continued prayers. Really appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. With that, I'm going to sign off till next week. Thank you very much. Bye.